Hi there. Just thought I'd give a quick demo on how to use StopWatch for HubSpot's new billable rates feature. The idea being that you can set the hourly rates of different HubSpot users and then calculate the billable amount each time users submit a billable time tracking session. So first of all, to set the billable rates, you'll need the StopWatch for HubSpot admin to add the relevant card to the center panel of each object type that's relevant to you. So the admin will be usually will be the person who's installed StopWatch for HubSpot for the first time within a HubSpot portal. But if that needs to change, then get in touch and we can renominate that admin user. So what an admin user will have to do is on the relevant object type, go to Customize Record. They'll need to edit the relevant view or views. For example, if you wanted to add it to a new tab, the StopWatch for HubSpot admin panel, you could create a new tab called StopWatch Admin. Likewise, you could add the card to an existing tab, whatever you prefer. Click Add Cards and then select StopWatch Admin. Save and exit. And then we'll navigate back to that individual record view. Now we should see the StopWatch Admin tab here visible. We'll go ahead and click into that. Now we can expand this section here, and this is where we'll want to set the hourly billable rate per HubSpot user. So for example, if I want to update the hourly rate to say $300 US dollars for this user and 150 for this one, we just input those new values here on the right hand side and then click submit. And those billable rates have now been updated. By default, it'll just be the currency that's used in your HubSpot account. Now that we've set our billable rates, let's go ahead and track some time. So for example, if I go ahead and start the timer, now I want to mark this as billable time. And I'll just pause the video now and skip ahead so we can track a reasonable amount of time here. Okay, so now a bit of time's gone past, somewhere between 3 and 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and stop this timer. Again, make sure that the billable time checkbox is enabled. We can see that the timer has been successfully stopped. Now, let's go ahead and jump onto that time log record. If it's a new time log record, you'll have to refresh the screen in order to see that time log that's associated to this company. So we'll click over to the time log record. Now we can inspect the individual session there by clicking into this note, and we can see that the amount of time that was tracked is just under 3 minutes, and the time tracking session was marked as billable. Here's the rate, the billable rate that was set, so $300 US dollars, and the billable amount relevant to the time tracked. Now, this data is also stored on the time log within custom properties. So we can see here that the billable amount is $14.83, which matches this session. That will increment as time tracking sessions are submitted by users. So each time that a time tracking session is marked as billable, that will increase over time. Now you can see that it's not formatted as a currency. You'll need to manually update that property in order for that to be displayed as a currency. So to do that, just navigate to HubSpot Settings, Properties, find time log properties, search for billable amount, go ahead and edit that property, field type, number format, currency, and save that change. Now, if we go back to the time log record, we can refresh that, and we should see the billable amount formatting is now a currency. By default, that will just be the currency, the default currency that's set on your HubSpot portal. Now let's take a look at this, the use of this feature using the quick add StopWatch app card feature here. So just for example, if I want to log some time, let's say I want to log 2.5 hours and I want that to be billable, I can go ahead and just submit that time log. Now let's go back over to the time log and just have a look at what that looks like. So here I can see information about the time log session details. So I can see that 2.5 hours were tracked via the quick add stopwatch feature. The billable rate again is $300 US. So the billable amount in this case will be 750. That's been added to the billable amount property over here on the left-hand side. Okay, so now let's imagine I want to submit another quick add session. This time it's going to be in detailed mode. I want to add a few more details relating to this session. So for example, I want to submit 2 hours 15. That was earlier today. I forgot to track it at 8:30 a.m. This time it's not billable. So I'll set that to no, submit the session, navigate back to the time log record, give it a refresh. I can see that this session has been logged here. So 2.25 hours. We can see that it hasn't been marked as billable. So therefore the billable amount is 0. And likewise, the billable amount property has not been changed since last time we saw it. Okay, one final thing to mention here relating to the billable amount features. It does respect the round up to nearest setting. So for example, if I have my round up to nearest setting configured to, say, the nearest half-hour interval, if I go back to this page, to this company record, I'll just give it a refresh. Now I'll start the timer, I'll set it to billable, and I'll stop it straight away. Now, because my round up to nearest setting is to the nearest half hour, we'll go ahead and have a look at this time log record. We should see half an hour of time tracked in that session because of the round up feature or the round up setting. So I can see that it's been logged as half an hour. It's been rounded up by this amount of this number of minutes, and it is billable at a billable rate of $300 US. So that's 150, and we can see that that's been added to the billable amount. So just keep that in mind when you're using the billable time and the billable amount, that it does take into account your general app settings as well.